Lesson 1, topic, identify geometric figures. Learning target, I can identify points, lines, and planes. I can name geometric figures. First off, some vocabulary. We have point. Points have no size, just shape or position, so like a coordinate point. We've graphed those before. And we name them by a capital letter, so point M. Line. Through any 2 points, there's exactly one line. It extends infinitely, so it goes on in each direction forever and ever. And our example would be like our x-axis and our y-axis. Those are lines. And we name them by 2 points on the line. So for this example, we have line x, y. And you'll see the arrows drawn at the end, so you know it's a line. A line segment is a part of a line with 2 endpoints. It's finite and it can be measured. So here you see we are just highlighting the portion between points A and B, which makes it that line segment. So it'd just be line segment AB. So you see how the line on top does not have the arrows pointing on either direction. And then lastly, a ray is a part of a line with 1 endpoint, and then it extends infinitely in one direction. With naming rays, we always start with the end point and then go to the next letter that has the arrow portion. So ray PQ, we start with the P, and then if you see the little line over the top, it only has an arrow on one side. So to practice, we're going to name each line, ray, or line segment. So here you can see we have 2 arrows on the end, so it is a line. So we are going to name it line RS. So I'm going to put RS and then 2 arrows at the top of the line. You can also switch it around and you can do SR. Either one is acceptable. EF, we have 2 endpoints, which makes it a line segment. So I'm going to put EF with a little line segment above it. Or I could do FE. The order of the letters does not matter on lines and line segments. And then here I see I have an endpoint and then an arrow, meaning we have that line portion. So it is a ray. So for this one, the order does matter. We have to start with the endpoint L, and then K, and then draw the one-sided arrow on the top. So a little more practice here. We have named the line that contains point Q. So we go to Q. There's a lot that contains Q, but if we look, UV is a ray, because it's got an endpoint and then an arrow. PR is a line segment because it has 2 endpoints, so the line that contains point Q would be ST. Name the 2 opposite rays. So opposite rays just means they make a line. So the 2 opposite rays would be the 2 that make the line. Well, we only have one line here, so it'd be QS. It's 1/2 of the line. And then QT. So that's the other half of the line. Name the endpoint of ray QT. Well, the endpoint is always the first letter, so it's going to be point Q. Name all of the points that lie on line ST. So here's your line ST. All the points on there would be S, Q, and T. Couple more vocabulary words for you. Collinear. So collinear are points that lie on the same line. So all of these points would be collinear because they are all on the same line. A plane is 2-dimensional. So through any 3 non collinear points. There's exactly one plane. So that just means not all 3 of those points would be on the same line. So 2 of them could be on the same line, like B and C are on the same line, and A and B could be on the same line, but not all 3 are on the same line. So that is a plane. And we can name planes by 3 of the points in the plane, like plane A, B, C. And sometimes there will be a letter in the corner, and you see how this letter M does not have a point next to it? That would just be the name for the plane, plane M. Example of that would be our coordinate plane. So we've worked with planes in the past before. Lastly, coplanar. Coplanar points are points on the same plane. So if you look here, we have our blue plane, plane BCE. So all 3 of those points would be coplanar. And then we have the yellow plane, which has 2 points showing, point D and point A, and those would be coplanar as well. Last set of examples here, give 2 other names for line PQ. Find line PQ. So the first step would be just switching it around. Instead of PQ, we can make it QP. And then also, if you look right here, we have a little lowercase letter that's not connected to a point. So sometimes we can name lines with this lowercase letter. So we could just call it line N. Give 2 other names for plane R. So we have that R in the corner. So we're talking this plane right here. So we can name planes by 3 points. So we could name it plane QPS. We can name it plane VPS. Lots of different combinations. VQP, PQ, S, just in different orders. So lots of different ways to name that. We just could not use point T because T is not in the plane. Name 3 points that are collinear and name 4 points that are coplanar. Answer those 2 questions in Edpuzzle to see if you are correct, and then move into your practice.